That's it, and that's just because that people are able to change whatever they want in life based on their wishes, and that's for me more meaningful than, for example, the Hey guys, Jonas here. I hope you guys had a great day so far. Probably, as you see here, it's still the same day as the last episode, but I just talked so fucking long, like I think like 15 minutes or something, about like what I fucked up on and blah blah. And to catch up on that, and how I got back is I bought this whiteboard and I just started, let me show you, I just started writing things, for example, the task of the day, the next 2 things I want to do on a day. And that's when I started writing this, my brain got like, fuck, this is amazing. Like, I really wanted to continue working on this startup when I started writing down these tasks. And maybe not like the tasks, but the thought about creating an actual vision, mission, and OKRs for the startup. And how I got there, like what's the background behind getting to this point where I say, oh, to be like a more sustainable business, in order to follow anything, in order to be able to pitch it to someone, I have to do something like that. And how I learned about this, like vision, mission statements, OKRs, like I'll explain what OKRs are in a second. But during my 9-to-5 job, I'm really learning about product strategy, business, design of course, but when it comes to product strategy and business, there are so many articles about it, like Medium posts and so on, which says in order to create a sustainable business and create a great product strategy, you first should create a vision and a mission for you in order to onboard not just yourself or not just like other people, but also yourself. Like, imagine a person coming into your startup and saying, hey, what is your startup about? And you're just pointing to the vision and it says like, I don't know, we are existing for helping people to, I don't know, get something in their life. And that's like your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you here? Why are you working on this? Why are you on Earth? Like that might be like a deeper question, but like just for now, why are you doing this? Why am I working on a startup? And I think it's great to have something like that, like a statement why you're doing it, in your room or in your office or anywhere where you can see it at any time. It's just, I think, maybe a sentence which is just so intuitive for you and that you forget about it, but that helps you to remind yourself about the thing what you're actually doing. Because when I started procrastinating this last month about it, I didn't thought about that I'm here to help people in order to achieve like a more successful and fulfilled life. And wow, that sounded very good. And I think if I get up in the morning, no matter at what time, and I see this, I get inspired and I really wanted to work on this. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm creating a vision and a mission, and later on I create OKRs, what OKRs are. So OKRs are actually, how to say, so spelled out, it's OKR, stands for objective and key results. So when you're planning for a new year, for example, or just a quarter of a year, could be two, you're setting an objective. For example, in this year my objective is to help 10,000 people to live a more fulfilled, successful, happier life, for example. And then those key results are that I have, I don't know, like when I do specific workshops, I have 10 people that come up to me and after a workshop and say to me that I actually changed something. A key result might be that people are messaging me that I actually changed their life or I had a very big influence. And sorry, my camera just stopped recording there. I think you get like what the basic idea of OKRs are. It's like some terms to keep you accountable for the things you actually want to achieve, and they help you to break them down and then actually achieve at least, for example, 50% of them, but that's better than nothing. And what might be more interesting to you is how I actually learned about these things, right? So I already told you, yeah, blah blah blah, product strategy, Medium posts and so on, but to be honest, I just learned it from working at AJ & Smart, because Jonathan, my CEO, like my boss, not my CEO, but AJ & Smart CEO, and he's my boss, like overall boss and so on. He is I think he's a great leader, and he has a plan of how to get the company to the next level. And by doing so, I have no other option than seeing parts of how he does it. And of course I talk to him and ask him questions like, where do you get this information about these OKRs and so on, blah blah. And but that's how I learned about it. Like, he also, for example, approached me one day and said, hey Jonas, it's very important to know about product strategy when you're a product designer. You should really like prepare a short keynote about product strategy and explaining it. And that's for me then the point where I was like, yeah, cool, I'd love to learn more about product strategy, as it is very important for me. And that's how I learned about it, because he was telling me, like, I think he's a very, very important person in my whole life in terms of what kind of seeds he plants in my brain, or he's planning in my brains. And I'm just so grateful that there is a person who's getting me to the next point. And I also think that for you, when you want to grow, it's fucking essential to have kind of person that in your life, like, no matter if it's your boss, no matter if it's a very good friend who's just way more ahead of you than you actually, like, of course of you. But if you don't have these people in your life, do your best to find them, because that are the people that actually get you to think about things differently. And it's just crazy what he changed now, because through working there, I learned so much about it, and like not just about product strategy, but like life and career and working on the sign and blah blah. But that's not important right now, because that's just a way of how I got to this point where I knew, oh look, that's when a vision is important. That's when I need a mission to tell my employees. That's when I need to define OKRs in order to achieve a specific goal I want to, like, for example, growing the company, blah blah. But that's just how I learned about it. And I'm not saying that I'm a professional vision creator or mission creator or something like that, but just having this thought in my head, there is something like that that is helpful when you're working on a company. And I thought it would be very useful for me to have something like that, just to remind me of every day why I'm doing something and what I am actually trying to achieve in this year, for example, or maybe quarter. So yeah, I'll start doing that now. I'll do some research about vision statements and mission statements and how to create them best, especially when you're alone and have no employees or no people that are working with you on the same thing. But I think that should be no problem. About the OKRs, this will be another episode, maybe the next one, where I really tell you what OKRs are, because about that I actually have to do some research again about it, because I'm not a professional OKR creator. So yeah, I just have like these seeds planted in my head, and now I'm growing them in terms of learning more about it and trying it myself, which is very cool actually. So yeah, sorry, I just continue talking. I'll do some research about vision and missions and take you along the way when I'm creating them. Have a great day. No! Fuck, cut this out, Jonas. If you see this, I was too lazy to cut it. So guys, I just did a very quick, like 10-minute research, and I wanted to show you an article on Medium on how I actually got to this point. So that's also an article I used to explain product strategy or more business strategy, for example. And it's just like this framework here. The article is, by the way, called "What the fuck is strategy?" It's just getting down of having a mission, a vision, a strategy, a roadmap, and then an actual execution. So very fast, the mission is like the problem you're trying to solve. I'm not reading this. And that's just like on a very, sorry, I really have to read this. This is often set at the company level, but can also be defined for a product or a product line. So for example, as a company, my mission is to help people to form habits in a better, sustainable way. And then my vision is I'm reading again, the idealized solution that addresses the problem you've articulated in your mission. So how I interpret that, interpreted that? I have no clue, fuck. But, sorry, it's just like, in an ideal world, what would it be to, or like more what's the use case for people, what is the actual problem you're addressing, how are you trying to solve this, and what is the perfect solution, right? For example, I think now I have a better idea about it, like what is the ideal situation if you can solve it? Like for example, every single person on earth is able to create and break habits. Then followed by the strategy, which is how you actually got there. Then you create a roadmap of the single plans, like the single steps in your plan, and then you actually execute it. It's very nice visualized here. For example, the mission here is to make a road trip across the continental US from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean. Then your vision is drive from Portland to San Diego. Then your strategy is the route you follow, where you're able to get the most out of it, where you're spending that's the way how you get from point A to point B. And then the roadmap is the actual way, so you have then like a map where you want to follow. and the execution is then the execution on a very basic level. And that's how I get inspired. So this article is how I actually learned about mission and vision and strategy and so on, or like just like at a very basic line or very baseline. And then I found a second article. It's from mindtools.com, and I just googled how to create mission vision statements, and it's actually very nice explained here. There's also a video, I haven't watched it, but the text for me is enough. For example, here it's explained, and those statements, so the vision and the mission statements, actually are following two different jobs, so to say. One is more like, as I already told you, it's more a thing we want to achieve, and the other thing is how... No, I got this wrong. Here it's very well explained. Mission statements define the organization's purpose and primary objectives. So what are we actually trying to achieve with this company or this product or this life, could be too. And that's just the explanation why we exist as a business, or as like company is a business or startup, or in theory a company is not a business, it's a product maybe. Like you can put it in different ways, but I'm not fucking around with that now. And some examples for that, very nice examples I think, for mission statements is that, for example, Nike, their mission is to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. I don't know the other companies, but for example, like ConocoPhillips, which is about gas and energy, our mission is to power civilization. And it's a very abstract, and I don't know, like it's a very abstract way of thinking, but I really like it because it's just like onboarding yourself. And then following the mission statement, the vision statement is to find then the actual human value in your work. So that's just when we defined our mission, for example, from Nike, is to to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world, which is then just like, what are the values for the athlete? There's unfortunately not a second vision statement from Nike, but I can name, for example, the one from Amazon, who is, our vision is to be Earth's most customer-centric company, where customers can find and discover anything they might want to buy online at the lowest possible prices. So this is also very specific, but then on the other side there's the one from IKEA, for example, which is our vision is to create a better everyday life to the many people, which is much more abstract, for example, than compared to Amazon's. But to be honest, it's just, for me now it sounds almost the same. Maybe, like, I think the vision is more how do we help these people? And the mission is, what are we doing to help these people? So in order to create a mission statement, you just have to develop your idea you have. So the article says, first identify your organization's winning idea, which is, for me, for example, helping people to create better habits or to live a more successful life or whatever, which is also your USP, so your unique selling proposition, what is special about your company that people should go to you and not to another one? For example, a USP of, I can't think of something right now. This is the idea. So the winning idea is the idea or approach that makes your organization stand out from its competitors, and it's the reason that customers come to you and not your competitors. That's what I actually said. Tip: developing a winning idea is a core goal of business strategy, and it can take a lot of effort to find, shape, test, and refine it. That might be true. Getting started is more important than being right. Following that, I'll just create one and see if it works. Then I iterate on it later. I don't know how to measure or test or shape it yet, or to refine it, but I might do some other research on that, not sure yet. The next step is to clarify your goal in order to create a mission statement. So the article says, next, make a short list of the most important measures of your success for this idea. For instance, if your winning idea is to create cutting-edge products in a particular industry, how will you know when you've accomplished this goal? When I'm reading this, it's basically an OKR. Like, seriously is. Because when we create OKRs, we will create like kind of goals and also like key results. So I know when we accomplish this goal. For example, when I changed 5 out of 10 people's life in every workshop, it's working, or like I achieved my goal or something. So it's just like, let me see, for some examples. Take the examples of a product store, farm fresh produce, whose winning idea is providing farm freshness. Oh my god, this word. The owner identifies 2 key measurements for access. Yeah, that's basically like they're like to be the number one produce store in main town by selling the highest quality, freshest farm produce directly from farm to customer with high customer satisfaction. I think that's really like more an OKR. To be honest, I prefer having OKRs more than this kind of mission, because OKRs for me are a very specific way to break it down, because it's also used by Google and other big companies. I bet that Apple and Facebook and Instagram is Facebook, but like all these Silicon Valley crazy big companies are, I think, working with OKRs or something similar at least. So I want to start then with creating a vision, because a vision is for me more, why am I actually doing this? And I decided once for my personal life that let me check if the camera is still recording. Great, 12 minutes already. I decided to live just like more on purpose, which means for me, why am I doing this? Do I like to do this? So the why for me is much more important than how we do it or what we are doing, because the why is just like much more passionate about the things I do. And the article says, step 1, find the human value in your work. First identify your organization's mission, then uncover the real human value in that mission. For example, how does your organization improve people's life? How do you make the world a better place? And for me, like, to be honest, having mission statements is nice, but having a vision is for me much like more powerful than having a mission. Like, of course, these two have to play together, because when you're having no vision and just like a mission, it's not that meaningful. And if you're having a vision but no mission, it just doesn't matter what your vision is, because you're not executing on it, or you're not planning on executing on it. And yeah. Do you know what? I don't find this very helpful. So for background knowledge and to shape my opinion on it, it might be helpful, but I don't see like a point. A vision for me is like, yeah, it is the thing that helps people actually achieving something, but I don't want to identify a mission based on this framework here, because it just feels very weird. I don't know, I feel like if I create a vision based on these steps here, it's not that meaningful to me. Like, I don't have the feeling that it just works. You know, it's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm like completely wrong and I'm fucking up right now. But I think what I do is just creating a vision for it and then defining OKRs, because a vision is just much higher for me. And I'm doing that now. I'm just like taking some post-its, writing different statements on that, and just deciding, maybe it's because I have something already in my head, maybe it's just about shaping the sentence, rearranging some words. But yeah, let's create a vision. So guys, I just finished creating the vision, and while creating this vision, I actually, I now really think I got what is meant by creating a vision. So let me show you how I came to this conclusion. What the fuck? So I first wrote down my first thought. My vision is to help people to live a more successful and fulfilled life. Then I thought, wait a minute, a vision is more of a check-in of the future, how the ideal world should look like. So then I started, our vision is that every person on earth is able to live a more fulfilled, a more successful and fulfilled life, which sounded better for a vision when you view from a perspective of from a more futuristic perspective, if you can say it like that. But I wasn't quite happy with that, because it sounded more like every single person on earth is able to blah blah, and when you think about it, they are actually able to do it. They don't know how, but that's like, for me, something was missing. And then I came to the step, I just wrote another one, which is, our vision is to change humans' perspective on success and fulfillment. But that was, like, in theory, it's not a bad vision, I think, but that's more a mission, because when you think about it, to change is that we do something, and that's then a mission of that we help people, we change people, we allow people, and that's something we have to do, we have to work on and able to achieve this, right? So a vision for me is something which is just in an ideal world, or which is an ideal world from this perspective. Like, from my perspective, if I'm focusing on habits and success and I don't know, whatever, like, for example, success is not like getting rich, it's more about living how you actually want. So I came to this conclusion, and I really love this sentence I just wrote down, and I really, I think, manifested in my brain and everywhere that that's my vision. I'm alone now. But our vision is that every single person on earth is able to create a fulfilled and successful future based on their wishes. And that's, for me, very futuristic, because when we do everything right as the habit machine, every single person should be able to create a fulfilled life, a fulfilled future, based on their wishes, right? So that's for me just like the sentence, that's it. And that's just because that people are able to change whatever they want in life based on their wishes. And that's, for me, more meaningful than, for example, the first or second posted, because here, for example, we just help people. They don't know how to do it themselves. We help people. They don't know how to do it themselves. It's that important. I have to repeat it. And here, it's just missing that they are able to create a future based on their wishes. Like, that's a very important thing for me, because everyone is able to create a successful and fulfilled life. Most of them don't know how to do it, but it's also a point of perspective how you think, or what you think success is, or what you think a fulfilled life is. And in order to add this for these 4 words based on their wishes, is really that like, how do you say, it's really this, fuck, I'm missing the words now. Are you allowed to say fuck on YouTube? I don't know. This commitment of changing people so they are able to change their life however they want, based on the things they want. So you can perform it in every single situation in your life. When you say, I want to have more money, you can get more money. If you say, I want to have a better relationship with your parents, you can have a better relationship with your parents. And our vision is that every single person on earth is able to do that without needing help from a third party. Or, like, I'm speaking B2B, I think, without having help from another person, or a coach, or company, or whatever. And that's, for me, the vision statement. And what I'm going to do now is just, for later on, is to stick it here. That's our vision. And our mission is then, of course, fuck, I need to review it. Let me take it off again. Our mission is then to help people, or more, how to teach people how to do it. So, what do we do? What we want to do in this company is, like, I'm just thinking about it in my head. Maybe to find the easiest way of achieving that, or creating the easiest way for the mass to learn how. That might be a good one. I think I might write it down on, like, some post-its and try some different wordings and so on. In the end, it will be something around that we want to teach people how to do it, and we want to provide the easiest way possible, without much friction, without much, like, money spent on that. Because, to be honest, I think it should be actually free. Like, every single person on earth should do this, should be able to do this, because we all want to live, like, now it's getting inspirational, I think you know what I mean. So I have my mission statement, my vision statement here. I'm going to throw away these. And now I create the vision, which is the mission, which is just providing the easiest way. And then, but what I think, like, when I think about like this 60-second pitch from Sean Wes, sorry, I need to check all the time if I'm recording. Yes, I am, great. I'm so scared of it because it happened to me once. When thinking about this podcast episode, I don't remember what number it was, but it was about creating a 60-second pitch for what you are doing, and it really struck with me. So it was like, it didn't struck with me, but it's more sticked to me, because it was like, I help X doing Y so they can set. Was it right? Doesn't matter. Like, you know what I mean. For example, I help people to change their life by helping them building new habits. For example, and that's like a 60-second pitch who you can tell everyone you meet just on the street, and they're asking, what are you doing? And you're like, I make that give blah 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 blah. And they're like, what the fuck? How often did you say that? You said 100,000 times in front of a mirror. But yeah. What I wanted to say with this is that is more inspiring to me than having like this vision or mission. But to be honest, no, I don't I don't think so. Like, first I think I just changed my mind now. Okay, let's talk about this later. I think we create the vision, the mission statement now, and then maybe talk about this again, but I'm not sure. So guys, I just finished creating the missions, and I actually found a very cool one, I think. Let me show you what I did. So the first one is, our mission is to provide the easiest and most sustainable way for people in order to change their life. Then this one got to, our mission is to provide the easiest, most sustainable and fastest way for people to change their life for a better. So the difference between them is like just working on the adjectives. Here, what I really want to have as a USP, for example, so I can really say the easiest, most sustainable, fastest, done. But I wasn't happy with fastest, because fast is for me, or fast means for me, of course it's depending on in what time frames you see fast. If fast could be 1 month, fast could be also like 10 minutes, depending on what you're measuring it, right? But fast, when I'm thinking about changing the life, it just hurt, or it just felt more about a loss of quality than making it actually happen. So I just had a bad emotion connected with fast. So I worked then on another version, which is, our mission is to create the easiest, most accessible and sustainable, that's something wrong, way to change people's life for a better, which sounded already better, because the word accessible means that everyone can do it. And that's for me a very important value, which I want to provide, right? The only thing that wasn't quite there, let's say, was for who? Who are we providing this for? For example, I was saying to change people's life for a better, to offer a way to change people's life. This sounds to me more like this is for coaches who wants to help people and want to learn about these things. Or more an abstract way and people are not actually doing it themselves, and that's what they actually should be able to. So I came up with this one. Our mission is to create the easiest, most accessible and sustainable way for people to change their life for a better. And that's for me, like, it's not a big difference, but when you pay attention to the single words, it's a huge difference. And that's for me what my mission is. So my mission is to create the easiest, most accessible and sustainable way for people to change their life for better. And that's for me, in my having this in my head, it's amazing. And it also, like, just let me throw away these post-its, like, we don't need them anymore. When we are following the strategy part about this, so let me open my laptop for a second. When we go back to this what the fuck is strategy thing, we now created our mission, our vision, and now we can really think about, because we're having this on paper and we defined it, we can really now think about how do we actually want to achieve this? How do we find how do we create this, like, the easiest, most accessible and sustainable way for people in order to change their life, blah blah. How do we do this? And that's now the strategy. Maybe I need to work on it, or in theory I already have the strategy. My strategy is creating the workshop, teaching it to people, building a community, spreading the word, creating an app so everyone can access it, or almost everyone can access it, like the mass, because some people don't have a smartphone or internet, or I don't know, but that's then something which might be relevant in 5 or 10 years or something. So the roadmap is, of course, now to get to the execution level, which is here. So strategy is building a community, getting it digital on the internet. Roadmap is workshop app, or workshop community app, or platform, or whatever. Maybe it's even a non-profit or something, I don't know. And then of course it follows execution, creating the actual workshop, building that community. By the way, I really fucked up building the community. I was just not consistent with it. Building the community, creating the app, building a platform, and that's what it is, right? And yeah, actually, that's amazing right now. I just try to come up with like OKRs. So of course, like, the mission is to create the most easiest and successful and we have our mission, but our OKRs are like maybe like submissions, not like a submission, but a smaller mission from the actual mission, which is, for example, we want to provide the most accessible way, or no, maybe because we focus on the execution, one of our OKRs could be that that for this year we want to build a way to just change your life, because I don't have like the perfect way to change your life, and an OKR might be that our execution is that good that it actually changes people's life, and then the key results are getting feedback from people, hearing that I actually changed their life, having maybe advocates who are spreading the word, something like this, right? And that's now the broken down part of the execution, what I'm actually doing. I hope you understand what I mean. I'm just writing this down on the whiteboard I have, and then I'm working more on the OKRs, or I'm even trying to come up with like the strategy and the roadmap, and that's how we roll, baby. I really feel like, to be honest, I feel so good about this because I feel that's now tangible. We have now something we can build up on, right? And that's just, it feels great. It feels great to have something framed, to have like a baseline what we can work from. Because before I defined this, it was more like, yes, let's do that. And it was more like very intuitive and just more intentional. I was like, what could I do next? And I was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's try to build a community with no reason or background behind it. But now I can say my vision is that every single person on Earth is able to create a fulfilled and successful future based on their wishes. And now I can really say my strategy for that is that I do workshops. No, my strategy is that I'm spreading the work digitally and physically. And I'm just trying to provide a place where people can go if they want to change their life, right? And then the roadmap would be more create these workshops, create communities, blah blah. And like the roadmap is what I want to focus first. So when we compare it, for example, to the vision, like here the roadmap, which is we are here now, and that's where everyone is accessible, and we are on a way to that. We first have to start with a strategic decision, which means, for example, we build a workshop, then we try to grow the community, then we build the app, then we get maybe influencers to spread the word, maybe even earlier, and that's like the step-by-step way how we actually do it. So I feel I'm actually creating something real. It's amazing.